Hello, everybody. I hope this live stream is reaching you well. Wow,
This live stream is reaching you well. Wow,
I'm so excited to start and to actually share with you something I have recently been studying quite a lot. And all this information I've actually been able to get just by the help of YouTube, where I am currently actually in the process of learning about how to start out as a property investor. And when I started doing, I think that's how I stumbled across the term property on YouTube. Then I found this British investor is quite famous, called Samuel Leeds. I've been wanting to actually attend his crash courses and decided then to actually be studying his videos online to be investing in myself. And after studying them thoroughly online, I just decided, why don't I not just share the knowledge that I've gained and to see how much I actually know. But I'm pretty confident that I got most of it. So the knowledge I'm sharing with you are based on two videos. One video you can check out from him, starting out from scratch, like with basically no money, when he's in London and discovering how to start out in investing in real estate. And the second video was somebody he was helping who had literally no money at all, a couple whom he was helping to start getting cash flow through real estate. Um, yeah, so I'm very excited to be starting. I mean, it's not really starting. I've been doing this too, but I haven't really known this bit about real estate. I have known about it that through subleasing. I know I mean, many years ago. I also wanted to sublease, and actually I have subleased also um, a room in our house, but I've actually not really considered in actually seeing that as a business, or that I could actually start off calling myself a property investor by doing that. I actually did come across a course which I wanted to attend some time back, but it was quite complicated a bit in terms of starting out with it, where I learned about the possibility of finding landlords who want to rent out their property. You know, this can be all over the world, and coming in agreement with them and helping them to find tenants, and through that making an income. So I'm actually very glad that Summer Leads actually has all this free material, and actually very exciting material to look at on his YouTube. And yeah, so now I'm going to do my very best to explain what he has explained in those two videos. So basically, to summarize all the points, I summarized them into 7 points and an example and some tips to take away to be remembering. So the first one is finding an agent. So meaning when you're in a city, the very important thing is to find an agent and to see which agent is friendly or not. And why do you do that? You do that to get an idea of how the market is, and also about which clients to target. And there also I learned that but this actually was I have to add, there was another video I watched which is called Winners on Wednesdays, and there was one person who sort of did like what I'm doing. He went through it, and he sort of added a certain twist into it, and he also discovered by learning all these materials from Summer Leeds on his free material on YouTube that it's important to have an idea which clients you want to target. So to not basically target each and every client, but to define it to one group to assure quality and success. Excuse me. So that is the first thing to do. After that, it's important to know different types for buying property. There, I would also advise. Okay, let me see what I still remember from those videos. Um, I remember the rent to rent. That's something that is very interesting to me. Also, rent to rent in terms of HMOs. So HMO stands for multiple occupation objects. If I can summarize that, basically it is an apartment or property that a landlord gives out to rent out each room individually, and each room is charged individually, and then there is like a common room like a kitchen or sitting room, something like that, that is used by all tenants. So that is what HMO is, what I learned. And then there is also a joint venture. Then there's like also something, if I paraphrase it, where you buy a property, but it's like you have to pay later. So I think that's what you'd call also joint venture. There are many terminologies in it, so that is something very important that even I myself, I have to be learning those terminologies to know when starting out with real estate and teaching yourself, for example, but through free materials like that. The third point is to research possible rent on the house, also from the HMOs with tired landlords who want to buy or rent. So I know that this third point is very crucial, because the ways I know from some learning from Summer Leeds is you need to have a license to be able to start renting out HMOs. But there is a possibility to start out without having that license by finding landlords who are tired of having to care for finding tenants on their own, and who would rather pay somebody to do that for them, to sell it or to rent it. So it's possible to do an agreement with the landlord and to come up with a win-win situation for the landlord and for you as an individual. And then you can help the landlord after signing a sublease agreement, or an agreement between the landlord and you, to do that. Number 4, you can also find a way how to text the landlords. I'm going to actually do a video on that next time when I'm actually doing it live. I'm going to include you in this on my journey with it. I'm also planning to do it with somebody. I'm going to notify you on that, because there's a text that I also wrote out, which also I learned from somebody. So you go just to his video and find it there, where you can use it as a sample to text landlords, or even as you're calling an agent, to know what to exactly tell them, and how to get a feel of the area, especially when you're calling the agent. Number 5 is to find HMO shops so that you can use them to find guaranteed rent for the rent to rent agreement. Number six, it's to get discount from agents to get properties from them to do rent to rent. And number seven is to meet the landlord and view the house and then negotiate a price with him or her for supporting finding tenants on the rent to rent, and also clarify who will pay the bills and analyze your profit. So I wrote down an example. For example, like now in the UK, you can convert this also into dollars. I'm using pounds now. A landlord could get, now based on this real life experience that I find very exciting, and I'm really, really excited to tell you about this because Samuel Leeds was able, he started off from scratch. He didn't have any money, our basic money. In the morning and in the evening, he had keys in his hands and was closing a deal. And so as he was negotiating, there were two possibilities. The landlord had accepted number one, £2,500 for the landlord, and this comes through a rent of a house of a 5 to 6 bedroom property. So if you can divide this for yourself, in total, the total rent is £3,900. This is for rent. And the profit made now for you would be 1,400 profit. But you still have to, if it's you paying the bills, it's around £400, he said. So you have to remove that, and then that would mean there's a £1,000 profit that remains. So now, if the landlord himself paid the bills, in this case, he agreed then to get £3,000 and to pay now you 1,100 to get those tenants. So yeah, that is what I really found exciting, that I learned out of all those videos, and there's also much more to add. I mean, this is a concept that can be used as you can actually start out with zero money and build cash flow in just a day. And I mean, you can calculate for yourself what potential it has, and not just potential, how much money can be packaged in it. Yeah, so it's very exciting, and this is what I had learned from there, and also from another video on Winners on Wednesday, when there's one of his students who had actually done it on just studying his YouTube videos, never attend the crash course or so forth. He had also said that it's very important when doing this business to remain focused and to just do it. Actually, Samuel Leeds also always says it. And another thing is to always have good contracts, because those contracts, when they're good, also if they can come from a lawyer, or you have to see how, but it's very important to have good contracts to avoid any losses. And also, which one thing I learned from this student is that he has a successful business. He sets limits for bills for the tenants regarding energy. So he has like a certain amount. If it exceeds that, then the tenant needs to pay that. Um, and yeah, and then he also has, and then I mean, this business can grow. You can also start having a team where you employ different types of people. Samuel Litso says that it's important to have a system in place that works. Also, I learned also from the student, it's important to have a time when you wake up. For example, he said that he wakes up at 5 a.m. in the morning, um, and sets that routine. Even me, I wake up at 5:45, and also have that routine. And I really agree. It's really liberating to just be your own boss, and also be able to decide one day you don't want to work or you want to work longer. So that is really great. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time as we continue.